Greetings, everyone. This is Richard Crevo with the chart reading session of May the 18th. And as I mentioned in previous YouTubes, I plan on doing a chart drill down like this once a week. So those of you who are interested can get a feel for how I like to analyze the charts each day to look for trading setups. And in this video, we're going to do just that. Now, if you have any questions about how and why my charts are set up the way they are, please reference the video entitled Chart Tutorial, which was posted on May the 11th. And I'm going to try to get through as many of the 28 pairs that I follow as time permits. As I mentioned the other day, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at rkrivo, RKRIVOFX, @gmail.com. Okay, let's get the disclaimers out of the way and we'll get started. And I know many of you have seen many disclaimers, especially if you're new to FX and Forex and you're kind of looking around the internet and everything for what's going on. But these disclaimers are there for a reason. I need to put them out for me, but I'm also putting them out there for you. And here are a couple of the caveats that you must be aware of. Trading foreign exchange involves significant levels of risk, may not be suitable for all investors. You should only be trading with risk capital, and risk capital is defined as money that if it's lost, it will not affect your lifestyle one little bit. So no trading with the grocery money or the mortgage money or anything like that. There's no guarantee made or implied that any trade analysis covered in this or any other YouTube video of mine will result in profits or not result in losses. And this content is provided for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended as specific trading recommendations. And I talk about the word setups. And as we go forward in this exercise, keep that in mind. A trading setup is just that. It's a setup. It's nothing more, nothing less. It may or may not trigger, and if it does trigger, it may or may not produce a winning trade. So these setups, what they'll do is they're going to put the probabilities, and that's what trading is all about, probabilities, of having a winning trade more in our favor. The setup and its execution by no means assures a winning trade. Okay, let's take a look at some charts. Now, the pair I have up here first, I just kind of decided last week we went kind of from top to bottom. Let's go from bottom to top this week to make sure we hit a variety of pairs. And on this first pair, which is the New Zealand dollar and versus, if you will, the Canadian dollar, NZD-CAD, we can see looking at a weekly chart here that price has definitely been moving down ever since the week of March the 28th, making lower highs, lower lows, continuing to move down. We've got slow stochastics down here with a nice angle to the downside and good separation between the two lines, between the K line and the D line. That's an indication of the potential that the pair can still continue to the downside for a greater period of time. So this also influences me to think I only want to look for selling opportunities on the lower time frame charts on this particular pair. Now, if we take a look at the daily chart, we naturally are going to see the same thing, only broken up into daily candles as opposed to weekly candles. And we can see here that price is making, again, lower highs and lower lows as it moves down. Had a nice retracement here, and potentially slow stochastics could roll over to the downside to follow the lead that we see here on the weekly chart. Bottom line, between these two longer term charts, it's showing me that, again, it confirms that I only want to look for short positions on the lower term charts. And on the 4-hour chart, let's expand this a little bit here. Here's that nice retracement that we saw. It hasn't touched that upper Donchian channel yet, which would be ideal, but it's a solid retracement. And what I'd be doing at this point is I'd be looking for, on the 4-hour chart, setting a price alarm roughly at about maybe 87, 86. And when I say set a price alarm, I mean just come back and check the charts out on the pair when that price alarm goes off. So I can see how the charts are looking across all 4 of those charts, multiple time frame analysis. I can also see if that price alarm hits, it means the New Zealand dollar is weakening or the Canadian dollar is strengthening or both. So I can take a look and see, is the New Zealand dollar weakening across the board, which would give more credence to this particular analysis, or is the Canadian dollar strengthening across the board, which would encourage me in thinking that this trade might follow through a little bit more and move on to becoming a more profitable trade or a profitable trade. I could also, if I want to be a more aggressive trader, is I see this wick right here at 89.11, and I also see only green candles moving down. What that means is that on this 4-hour chart, there's virtually no support showing as the pair would drop. So if I, like I say, if I'm an aggressive trader, I might set my price alarm at 89.10 and then come and take a look at the charts, because if things look good at that time, that would possibly give me about 120 pip jump, if you will, on the trade. Keep in mind, anytime you get into a trade sooner, you're getting in with less confirmation, and the chance of gaining more pips is there, but also the chance of the trade not following through because you got in sooner is more prevalent. One of my favorite expressions is in trading is the idea that I would much rather be late into a trade and right than early into a trade and wrong. So think about that. And this slow stochastics is pointing to the upside, but it's primarily reflecting the fact that we had this up pull here and then a little bit of this retracement here, and then we had a little bit of downward movement, and then this is reflecting those last several 3 or 4 candles right there. Okay, let's take a look at, let's go up to the CAD Swiss. And this weekly chart right here, this is that January 15th candle. I'll let you check that out. Swiss National Bank made some moves, and there was quite a move on all the Swiss related pairs based on that. Price has taken out the lower channel here, so I'd be looking for selling opportunities. Touched the upper channel on the daily chart, took out the lower channel, again confirming the idea of selling opportunities. Excuse me. And on the 4-hour chart, again, I'd be looking at setting a potential price alarm, setting a price alarm at around 75.15 on that pair. New Zealand Swiss. Okay, we've got that same candle. That's going to appear on all the Swiss franc charts. And we've got somewhat of a similar situation in that we only want to look for selling opportunities here, and we're getting a nice support level and a descending wedge right here. You see this? We've got a high, we've got a lower 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 high, but this maintains down here very well. This support at about 67.77. If that would break at that level, that would be the place I'd be interested in setting a price alarm just to take a look at the charts to see what's going on at that point at 67.77. And we've got the low here at 67, roughly. That's the same level there, of course, as we would suspect, 67.78, 67.77. And based on the weekly chart, the pair has got enough room to run, for about maybe 340 some odd pips. So that would be an area that I would think about setting a price alarm at as well. Let's take a look at Euro New Zealand. Okay, here we have a little different scenario playing out. We've got price action moving to the upside on the weekly chart. Very nice angle and separation, increasing separation here between the K line and the D line, the fast line and the slow line in stochastics. So indicating potential for more movement to the upside. On the daily chart, we see price has moved up, touched the lower channel, taken out the upper channel, and has continued to move up. We get a bit of a pullback here on our 1-hour chart. As you may recall, I like to see price action pull back to the lower Donchian channel line. This has not done that. If I'd be an aggressive trader, again, I might be checking out and setting a price alarm at 1.5415 just to see what's going on at that level. Ideally, again, I like to see a stronger pullback than we've seen right here. Aussie Swiss. Again, took out the lower channel on the weekly, took out the lower channel on the daily, so I'm looking for opportunities to short the pair, and it's another Swiss-related pair, so we are going to see some similarities in the chart setups. On this, I'd probably set a price alarm maybe at 72.12 roughly in that particular area. Okay, let's take a look at the next pair here. We've got the Aussie New Zealand. And this one, again, strong angle and separation on stochastics, higher highs and higher lows. Took out the upper channel on the weekly chart. It definitely has taken out and making a nice stair-step move up here on our daily chart. So you know the drill. We're only looking for buying opportunities here on this particular pair. And again, not much of a pullback here as we can see on the 4-hour chart, but we had a pullback here to the lower Donchian channel on the 1-hour chart. Just took out the upper channel right there. Let's expand that a little bit. Just took out the upper channel at that point. What I would consider doing here is maybe setting a price alarm at this level here at 1.0851, and then potentially, this is a 1-hour chart, so it's not going to be lots of pips, but we'd be looking at maybe the potential for 60 pips if it trades up to that previous high. Now, right now, it looks like it might retrace a little bit more because our momentum indicator, so stochastics, is giving angle and increasing separation to the downside, which indicates that we might have a little more of a drop there, which is fine. I mean, we don't have to have, a trade that's going to trigger immediately all the time. I mean, that would be nice. Wouldn't it be wonderful if every pair we looked at was just about ready to kick off and go for thousands of pips? That's not the way the market works. But we have patience. The market's going to be there tomorrow. Patience and discipline, a big aspect of trading. Okay, let's take a look at another pair. Let's look at the Pound New Zealand pair. And here we've got an uptrend most recently, but you can also see how this pair, although it broke out of it, was trading in a modest, somewhat loosely defined range. We can see it kind of oscillating back and forth here, and now it's broken out of that range, and it's closed outside of the range. This weekly candle, this is this week's candle, has broken above that range. And I take it back. This weekly candle hasn't closed outside the range, but it is above it. So be that as it may, we're looking for buying opportunities. But for the last couple times over the last several weeks, because this started out on September 27th of last year, where this first candle putting forth this range began. So this has been going on for a while. Based on that, we'll see if this candle by the end of the week doesn't pull back down into the range. It certainly could. By and large, right now, I'm looking for buying opportunities on this, and I don't see it because it's broken out already on the on the 1-hour chart, and on the 4-hour, it hasn't had a solid enough pullback as far as I'm concerned. Let's look at the one other pair I wanted to show you here because I want to keep track of our time here. I don't know if we'll ever get through all 28 pairs. But on the Aussie CAD, what we can see here is price action has touched the lower channel, moved up, and it's just kind of oscillating on that weekly. It's taken out the upper channel on the daily chart, and it's taken out the upper channel on the 1-hour chart. What a trader might consider, let's go to the 1-hour chart here. Trader might consider is, let's see how far this pair potentially has room to run here by looking out. Okay, if it goes up to that upper channel, it's got some room over here where it can go. But yeah, it looks like it, based on a weekly chart, it's going to be kind of a choppy ride. If it breaks above the level that we're looking at, roughly 97.50 right there, which is the top of that wick, roughly right here. If it gets above that, you see this cluster of candles right in here. That's going to provide a fair amount of resistance as it moves up, and it could prevent the pair from going higher. That being said, price action can blow right through it. But anytime I see something like this, it's kind of like a roadblock potentially, and then I wouldn't be interested in that particular pair to trade. Okay, Screencast-O-Matic is telling me that our time is pretty much up, so I want to thank you for listening to this session, And as I said, I'll be putting them out once a week.